All right, here we go. It's the nightcap. Welcome back. Brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com. Visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Get down to Dayton, Kentucky, Wednesday through Sunday, lunch and dinner. Tell them to pump it up. Save yourself 15% off of your order, or go to the app. They will bring it right to your front door. Pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop. I'm in dire need, Aaron. Dire need of some Galactic fix. I haven't had it in way too long.
I don't want to hear it.
There's been way too much happening in life. And I'm going to have to get some Galactic Fried Chicken here very, like this week, very, very soon. So you need to do the same. All right, buddy. Hey, welcome back.
What's
welcome
up?
Back. A little welcome back, Cotter. Is that too old for you?
Maybe. Is that the welcome back, welcome? Yeah. All right.
You remember it. Yeah.
I didn't know it was from a show.
You didn't know that was from a show?
No, I just think it was in a commercial or something at some point.
That was probably right before your time. So you just missed Welcome Back, Cotter. Great show. Anyhow, Bearcats have had a good couple weeks on the recruiting trail.
Sure.
They are stocking up on the 2024 class. That has not stopped, Eric. That has not stopped the concern on the Bearcat Journal message board. Quad Birdsong decommitted. He was the 1 4-star in this class. Right now, as it stands, Cincinnati has the number 35 overall recruiting class in the country, the number 35 composite rank in the country. They have 4 guys above 88. Most of the class is 85 or above. Or all the class that has a composite is 85 or above. They have 3 that don't have a composite. What do you say to fans that look at this class and say it's not good enough as we get to the end of the June official visit window, which I think the 27th it ends the ability to take official visits. Where are you at when it comes to this recruiting class with 13 commits in the fold? We think, based on what the staff has said, there is still at least one more out there from last weekend.
That's the weird part. I never know.
Potentially one more out there from this weekend. So we might be at 15 already that, we're waiting on getting official word from. Where are you at in this argument that they're not hitting on enough 4-stars, they're not recruiting at a high enough level in the Big 12?
So they just got to the Big 12. You have a new staff in place that no one has seen coach a single game in Nippert Stadium.
Yeah.
I'm okay with them being at 35. I didn't expect them to take over the recruiting world coming into a situation where we've already gone through several coordinators.
Right.
Before they even coach a game. There's been a lot of question marks since Satterfield got here, and even when he got here, there were question marks because plenty of Louisville let us know all about it. Like, oh, you're gonna really enjoy him. He's quite the catch for you guys. Ha ha ha! Take him. We don't want him. Okay, cool. Thanks, Louisville. You guys are a dumpster fire anyway.
Right.
Until they clean things up. So I don't know. I guess I just didn't come into this recruiting cycle with lofty expectations. The people who are saying that we need 5-star, everyone needs 5 stars. There's only 30. There's only 32 of them. Everyone needs them. Why did you think Cincinnati was going to end up with a 5-star in the world of NIL, where they just spent a ton of money getting guys in the NIL collective into basketball? So
they also just added 21 transfers for football. That didn't happen for free.
I was getting there, where you also added a quarterback, a wide receiver who were highly touted as recruits. So what are we doing? You can't clean it all up at the same time, right? Like, it's got to go in waves. So
allegedly, hypothetically, yeah, it's supposed to happen in waves. But I get Fanatic is attached to fandom, and the fans of this football program. This is the funny part, Aaron.
We got spoiled really quick.
Right. Like, so you go to the college football playoff. Your belief is, as a fan, now we should be Clemson immediately.
Playing in a New Year's Six every year, or if not the New Year's Six, that's because we made a college football playoff berth.
Right. That's not who this football program is. It never has been.
No.
They've been to the playoff once. They have gone to a couple New Year's Six bowls, 3 of them, outside the playoff. So it is a program that can compete, but it does it by development. And this staff is in the beginning stages of figuring out what that development looks like here. And there have been arguments that they should have taken bigger swings for these two recruiting visit weekends. Should have been more 4-stars. You should have gone all in on getting more guys on your campus and seeing if you can like win the battle or whatever the case may be. But in recruiting, what good does it do to finish second? Like that's kind of my stance on, like, yeah, okay, well, we got this guy in, but he was never coming here. Like, he came to visit us, but then the next weekend he went to the place that he was going to commit to. Or like Qua Birdsong. They got him up here in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
He committed. The day, like 14 minutes after he committed, he announced he was going on visits to other places.
Yeah.
Like, is that? I like getting guys that want to be here. Now, is that the be all end all? No. Like, you can, guess what? You can recruit guys that want to be here, and ultimately they're not good enough. And you get your ass kicked.
Sure.
But don't we owe this staff enough, like, respect and time to find out what their talent evaluation is like? Because guess what? When this recruiting staff was hired, Cass Simmons, Zach Grant, Jack Griffith, like, there was a reason everybody was excited, was because these guys know how to watch tape and evaluate talent. Well, all of a sudden, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't matter. I think people looked at this and expected, like, okay, well, they have to be Luke Fickell. They have to go recruit Ohio. They have to, like, fit these certain boxes that we saw checked for the last 6 years. Guess what? There's new boxes to check. There's new things that are going to be important now that you have an entirely new group running the show.
So, in Cincinnati's history, they have 16 4-stars. That's it.
And like 11 of them didn't work out.
Well, and Luke Fickell, the most successful coach, I don't even think it's arguable at this point.
No.
The most successful coach in Cincinnati's history, didn't even have all of them.
Yeah.
He had Evan, he had Mario Eugenio, he had Brady Drogosh, who ended up a sack guy.
Recommitting to the new staff, yeah.
Lenny, JQ, gone.
Yeah.
Jaheim, gone.
Mm-hmm.
Shimamater, Derek Shepard, Jaden Thompson, gone. Trevor Carter, who recommitted to the new staff.
Yeah.
And I take that back. Trevor Carter ended up a 3-star.
Yeah.
So that was
at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was hurt for a long time.
Like a
I just like I think there's this expectation that this staff has to do it the way the old staff did it because it worked for the old staff. Guess what, Aaron? Cincinnati's never going to be able to hire another Luke Fickell. He was a unicorn. Why was he a unicorn? He grew up in Ohio. He went to Ohio State. He was one of the main recruiters at Ohio State for 14 years. He made every connection in every corner of the state.
He also wrestled.
Rawr.
But I mean, those are just more connections to have to athletes.
So I'll give you a brief glimpse into Luke Fickell. So we were at AAU volleyball this week, and a lot of that, like, you spend a lot of time with the parents of the other kids that are on the volleyball team,
right?
And we were sitting around one night, and it might even have been one afternoon, I don't remember, but one of the parents, like, they've started to, I didn't talk about it much, but they've started to figure out what I do. And he's like, wow, I don't want to offend you because you're a Cincinnati guy, but I'm a big Ohio State fan. And I was like, Luke's still my guy. And he's like, Fickell? And I'm like, yeah, we were like, Luke's daughter started her freshman year at Indiana yesterday. And I sent him a text when I first got down to Orlando, and I'm like, AAU Nationals, where you at? Because that was always something that we talked about, was every year he was down there with his daughter. And the guy was like, you know Luke Fickell? I'm like, yeah, that's my guy. We were texting about AAU Nationals yesterday. And he, like, starry-eyed, like, Luke Fickell is one of my heroes. He dominated.
Heroes, you say?
Yes. But that's how people in Ohio think of Luke Fickell. That's how high school football coaches in Ohio think of Luke Fickell. To think that Scott Satterfield is going to come in and have that kind of pull in Ohio is silly.
Yeah, he's not ever recruited Ohio the way he's already recruiting Ohio.
Right.
He's making efforts. They clearly are making efforts. They've been out in Ohio in droves, the staff.
This is also a class in Ohio that's not elite, I guess. There's not a bunch of difference between 15 and 35 in Ohio. And there are a lot of guys in there that quite frankly aren't really takes. And the top 10 guys in Ohio are going to Ohio State, Michigan. All of a sudden, Michigan is a factor in Ohio again after beating Ohio State twice.
That's what happens when you knock out the big dog.
So, I just think people are expecting something that's not realistic. And
again,
I
think 35 is fantastic for all of the turmoil that you have had in between Luke Fickell leaving for Wisconsin and where we are today with all of the staff changes, even since Satterfield was hired.
Yeah. I don't know. Fantastic is that's a booming, bold statement, but I think they're where they should be.
I'm okay with where it's at. I'm not upset about it. I don't want to be looked at as a mouthpiece for the university or anything either. Could it be better? Absolutely. Is it going to be better with this staff in place? Win some games that you're not supposed to, and I think it'll get better.
Their average rating is 86.7. So they're right on the cusp of getting into that range. There's only one team ahead of them that's not an 87. That's Mississippi State with 10 commits. They're right on that cusp of being in the 87 range, which I think is pretty damn important. Georgia Tech is 31st. They're at 86.43. They're below Cincinnati in average rating, but they have 15 commits. Rutgers, 14 commits, 86.19. They're below Cincinnati. Could it be a little bit more splashy? Could there be a 4-star or two? Sure. But I think there is also, Aaron, there's this world where people think all 3 stars are the same.
We know that to be not the case.
Completely
From Luke
false.
Fickell's time here, he was
Right.
developing guys that had no stars into draft picks.
Well,
High
they had
draft
stars.
pick.
They were all 3 stars. It was a matter of hitting on the right 3 stars.
Cook?
Well, he was a transfer. Like, they didn't take him out of high school.
Oh, I'm saying.
If they took him out of high school, Bearcat Journal would have lost his fucking mind. If they took a kid from Cincinnati that nobody in Cincinnati knew existed
With no stars.
With no stars and no offers, oh. But guess what? They got it right, and he developed. Like, let's give this staff a chance. Sure, maybe they're not splashy in Ohio right now, and maybe they never will be.
Chad, I don't want it to be lost in the shuffle that this is the same, not the same entire staff, but there's a large portion of this staff that beat Michigan in the Big House as lowly Appalachian State. They have figured out how to get the most out of their players despite ranking.
Yeah. Rankings, like, I'm not going to, like, put myself in the boat that ranking doesn't matter, because it does matter. That's part of what I'm saying now. Like, they're recruiting much more in the 87, 88 territory. Go back and look when Luke Fickell first got here. Where was Derek Forrest? Where was Kobe Bryant? Where was Brian Cook? Where was Sauce? Where was Alec Pierce?
17, 18?
18, 19, 20, 17, 18, 19, right in there.
18, we finished overall 49.
What was the average score? Do you see it?
I don't know where they put that on here.
Team. Here, hold on. I'll pull it up real quick.
But 18 wasn't great. 19. 67 composite rank, 64 overall rank.
Average player ranking in 2018, 84.43. Now it's 2 points, over 2 points higher. Some pretty damn good players that came out of that class. 2019, they were bad in 2009. You don't even want to look at 2019.
It wasn't good.
20, 41st. Average player rating 85.3.
Jesus, 18 was a badass class.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness.
Yeah. And look at the average player rating for all those guys. You know what you're counting on at this point? That your recruiting staff got it right. Will that prove to be true? We don't know yet. We don't know. But to say definitively right now, this staff is like falling on its face and being terrible it's a bad take. It's a bad take. Glad to have you guys back. We'll be doing this every night. We're back to normal. We're back on schedule. That's the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See it.